You mentioned when you're doing your presentation, there's, I think, about $4 million worth of roads that are in the least desirable category.
Right.
Do you have that list of streets or sections of roads?
We do. We actually have a kind of a full report that we've put together. It's being reviewed by your staff right now, and we'll have back, very shortly. It'll be able to be distributed to everyone.
To the council and to the public?
Is that?
Okay. And also, last fall, it was $1 million referendum that passed for roads. Are there any roads included in the $1 million referendum that are to be repaved this summer that are not included in that $4 million most needed pavement upgrade list?
I don't believe our referendum in the fall had road names attached to it, just by my recollection.
I agree.
Yeah. Obviously the deficit of roads that need to be done can't not all be done by the $1 million, but we'll try to spread out that $1 million according, almost like the pie chart that Gordon demonstrated to us.
So I guess, but my question is, will there be any roads done with that $1 million that are not among the $4 million of neediest roads?
Yeah, we haven't set our roads for next year, but that's one of the theories, is that you don't do just the worst roads first. You try to distribute that, both the $1 million in our capital and even our several hundred thousand in our operating budget throughout the whole pie. We're not going to go after the worst 10 or 20% of the roads. We need to spread it out evenly as per the curve.
Okay. I would need to think about it a little bit more, because that at first glance doesn't really make that much sense to me. It seems like you go after the worst, but because I'm thinking of the residents who live on those streets. But then the last thing I'm wondering about is Gordon, correct? Okay. You had mentioned using sealant to address roads before they got deteriorated a great deal as sort of an initial fix. Did we talk about this a year or two ago, Joe? And you said that generally speaking, you don't like using sealant?
Depends what kind of sealant. There's a crack seal was one of the treatments that Gordon did show on his screen, and that's where you put a thin layer of oil, 3/8 inch stone, you grind it in. So that has its place. And if we were going to do that in Cheshire, I'd say we do that in a road that doesn't have front lawn right up to the pavement. So
you mean curbs?
Or even a landscaped lawn, like something like Plank Road or Summit Road. You really, when you get into a manicured lawn area, that's where the chip seal gets to be a problem. When it has its purpose, and I've used it plenty of times in other towns, but there are a lot of subdivision roads where I would totally be against using that road, like your road or Tom's Road or even Tim's Road. One of those roads where it's a neighborhood where you have landscaped lawns right to the curb and it's well manicured. Loose stones don't fit in well to those type of neighborhoods. And another type of sealant is crack sealant, where you go in and you seal the cracks that are like pinky size. The town had some bad experiences years ago with the cold crack seal that they use, so it sort of turned off our public to that, but it does have its place. And for the cost, which was that 1% pie, you could go a long way with spending 1% of your total pavement budget on crack sealing, and you take care of those 75 and 80 and 85 roads.
Maybe it's like I'm thinking of something that looks kind of like rubber.
Well, it actually goes on like it's a liquid.
Okay.
It's in a 5-gallon pail. It's solid. It gets heated up and it gets poured into a crack that's, like I said, about the size of my pinky.
Yeah.
If you get too many of those cracks together, that doesn't work. If your crack is too big, that doesn't work either. So you want to judiciously use it on certain roads.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, any other members of the council wishing to ask Mr. Deering any questions regarding his report? Not the last time we will be talking to you, I'm quite sure, but and using your information going forward. Again,